Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk all about quiet luxury and how we can dress in this way for the spring season. Quiet luxury have been really coveted trend for the past 2-3 years, but even though it's been in trend, there is in fact nothing trendy about this way of styling, simply because it's timeless, classic and bespoke. So, if you want to enter this quiet luxury way of styling without breaking a bank, I have 5 tips to share with you. My tip number 1 would be lean into tailored pieces. What I mean under tailored pieces? Those would be high-waisted wide leg trousers. They can either be full length or ankle cut length, but the detail you want to pay attention the most when you're talking about tailored trousers is that you want to look after those pleated elements. They're the ones that are going to make the difference and make your trousers appear so timeless and so elegant and so classic in a way. The trousers, for example, that I'm wearing here are from H&M. I simply love these trousers because I can wear them in a really simple way with a basic creamy top, but also I can wear trousers like this with a waistcoat. Waistcoats are again a piece that is really on trend right now. You can find so many beautiful ones in retailer stores, but even though they are in trend, they're again that tailored piece you want to acquire if you want to build your wardrobe in this quite luxury way, simply because they're such a classic and timeless piece that won't ever date, and you can find some really stunning pieces that can easily elevate any basic look. But when we're talking about trousers, you can equally wear them with any shirts. So in this example, I'm wearing these high-waisted trousers from Zara, and I paired them with this striped blue shirt. This is yet again just another example of an outfit that won't ever date, simply because it is timeless, it is chic, and I simply adore this way of styling. I just find it to be so bespoke, but yet again so easy to style together. Now moving on to the shorts, I have these 2 examples. In this one example, I'm wearing everything white. That's also the example I'm wearing right now. I simply adore these shorts from Zara. It is just so comfortable, such an easy piece to style with pretty much anything, and I simply love again those pleated elements. They just make a huge difference, and they turn these shorts into such an elegant and classic piece. I decided to style it with this simple, very loose fit sort of a white button down, and I just allow the example simply because I'm wearing everything white from head to toe. I wanted to break down that white monotony if it's boring for some, so for that reason I added this tanned belt or a little bit brownish belt, and I paired it with these brown H&M pointy flats, and that's the look. But in this other example I actually went full look, everything same tone from head to toe, so this creamy Zara short and then this silky champagne shirt on top. I simply love how this all looks together. It is just so elegant, so classic, and it's again a look that won't ever date. All of these pieces are tailored in such a way that they're always going to provide you that elegance no matter what you style them with. So always pay attention to tailored pieces because they're really important to add into your wardrobe if you want to build your wardrobe that it can last you forever. Another piece you want to add would be a blazer, of course. It's not a surprise that a blazer is a must even during spring days, and the blazer you want to acquire into your wardrobe would be a blazer that is not too oversized, but you again don't want those blazers that are too fit, so try to look after a blazer that is somewhere in between. In this example I have this white blazer. I simply adore white blazers in the spring and summertime of the year. I just find them to be so elegant and chic looking, and then again in this other example I have this navy blazer. Navy blazer is a good replacement for the classic black blazer that we are most of the time wearing during colder time of the year. So during spring and summer time of the year, it is good to shift into these navy blue tones, simply because with them you can create so many of those nautical looks that are also very trendy when we're talking about spring and summer time of the year. Next tailored piece you want to add to your wardrobe would be either satin midi or maxi length skirt. Honestly, I believe these sort of skirts are must. They're just a staple in any wardrobe. The one I'm wearing here, it comes in this really gorgeous black tone. It's from Zara, and I love how you can easily dress them down, dress them up. It all comes down what you style them with. In this example, I went after more like a casual, everyday sort of a look, a very comfortable look. I'm wearing these H&M ballet flats. On top, I popped on this simple whitey, and over my shoulders I popped on this off-white sweater, and that's the look. I simply adore how this look appears to be so easygoing, so comfortable. It's a look that is appropriate for any everyday activities, yet it is such an elegant, bespoke and timeless look that again won't date. So all of these pieces that I mentioned are those tailored pieces that you want to acquire into your wardrobe. And finally, another piece that is a must, but it's also a no-brainer, and that would be a classic white button-down. Here I'm wearing this one from H&M. It's more of a loose fit white button-down. I simply love how effortless it appears, but you can also acquire any other tone of a shirt of your liking that suits your style preference. The shirts I also adore are strap shirts, and they're also the must of any quite luxury wardrobe as well. So that is my tip number one. Lean into these tailored pieces that you can wear always on repeat, simply because their tailoring is so bespoke. They're going to create those demure and just highly elegant looks that won't ever date, that they're classic and timeless. And now let's talk about tip number two, and that would be go after neutral tones. Neutral tones are again such a beautiful staple in our wardrobe. All of these pieces that come in these neutral, cream, white, off-white, beige, brown, tanned tones, grey tones, black tones, I think I mentioned them all. They're just so stunning. Also khaki tones as well, navy blue, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you know what I mean. All of these tones are always going to be so complementary with each other. You can easily style them, pair them, mix around, and they're always going to appear so timelessly chic and elegant. They're also going to be the canvas in our wardrobes, because based on these neutral pieces we can build so many different style combinations. We can also add a color, but when we're talking about quite luxury way of styling, there is no colors over here, just neutral pieces. But yeah, for some, simply because that there is no color over here, this way of styling might be a little bit boring. I don't know, when it comes to me, I simply love it because it is so easy and it don't give me headaches. I just love how I can easily style any creamy tones, white tones together, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful. Or also you can wear everything black from head to toe. Yes, during spring days I really love to wear white, creamy tones way more, but I still love to insert some black tones, especially everything black from head to toe. I simply love this example where I'm wearing these H&M high-waisted trousers, and then I popped on this simple basic H&M top, simply because I'm wearing everything in same tone from head to toe. So for that reason I look to break that monotony. So what I did in this example, I also added this brown belt and I matched it with these H&M pointy flats, and that's it. Like, I simply love how it's so easy to insert any of these neutral tones, and it's just going to fulfill the look. But of course you can wear black tones with some creamy pieces, like I did in this example with this looser fit blouse. I simply adore how this look appears. Yet again, it is so timeless, especially because I finished it by adding these H&M Chanel looking like flats. You can find these sort of ballet flats literally everywhere. Every retailer store have their line of these ballet flats, and ballet flats are yet again another timeless piece that you want to add in your wardrobe. They can also be in any of these neutral tones, and they're just going to finish the look in such a beautiful and classic way. And with that said, it brings me to the tip number 3, and that is mix tailored with basic pieces. What I mean by this? So for example, if you're not a fan of wearing something tailored on bottom, tailored on top, if that appears a little bit too much for you, you can just go after something basic. So in this example where I'm wearing this black satin midi skirt, on top I'm just wearing this basic white tee, and that's the look. I didn't want to go after something more tailored on top because too much tailoring can appear too much. So you always want to pare it down a little bit, and for that reason I went after something as simple, as basic as this white top is. Or for example, even in this look that I'm wearing right now, I'm wearing this white tailored shorts, but the shirt I'm wearing is not really tailored piece. Of course, there are some tailored white button downs, but this one, for example, is not. It's quite loose fit, quite comfortable, so it can also be treated as one of those basic pieces, honestly. Same can be said, for example, for this look where I'm wearing everything black from head to toe. I have these H&M high-waisted pleated trousers with ankle cut, but on top I have this top that is from sports line from H&M. I just love the mix of these tailored with basic pieces. They create such a perfect balance, and that is what I always aim after, and that is for those of you who don't like to overdress it by mixing tailored pieces together. What you can do is create a balance by mixing these tailored and these basic pieces. My tip number 4 is related to jewelry and accessories. When we're talking about jewelry pieces, you don't want to overdo it, so instead you want to add just a subtle touch of jewelry pieces, few rings, really beautiful dainty necklace. Same can be said for earrings or bracelets. You don't want to add those stacked really huge bracelets. The same can be said for huge earrings. You don't want to do something like that, so we want to keep it simple and subtle. Same can be said for accessories. We don't want to show any designer brands, names. If you're wearing your Adidas sneakers, like I am, I absolutely adore to wear my Adidas sneakers, but if I want to create this quite luxury way of styling, then I just can't wear Adidas sneakers, that's it. But what you want to do instead is just acquire a simple plain white sneakers that are going to look perfect with pretty much anything. But honestly, we don't need to be strict that much. If you want to wear your Adidas Sambas, your Nike, your Puma sneakers, why not? Just wear them. Who cares? You don't have to follow any rules so strictly. So if you want to dress your favorite Puma sneakers, just go ahead, wear them in this quite luxury way, even though you are showing just a little bit of a brand's name. Who cares, honestly? Like, I don't like to hold on myself to any of these rules so strictly, so yeah, there's that. But in general, there is that rule that you don't want to show a lot of those designer brands, names and so on. Finally, my tip number 5 would be, we don't have to break a bank to dress in this quite luxury way of styling. In fact, you can acquire some really good staple pieces that are classic, timeless and just so nicely tailored, even in some of the retailer stores such as Zara, Mango and H&M. In these stores I like to purchase the most, and over there you can find some really beautiful staples. So even though this way of styling has that luxury name in it, it doesn't have to mean that we actually need to spend thousands upon thousands of money to dress in this way. In fact, thanks to these retailer stores, you can acquire this quite luxury way of styling for much affordable price, and for that you want to focus on the staple pieces that are the foundation of our wardrobe, some of which I already mentioned, and always pay attention to those tailored pieces. They're just must, especially when we're talking about trousers and shorts and the good blazers. They're just something that is, as I said, must in our wardrobe when we're talking about this quite luxury way of styling, but for which you don't have to spend a lot to break a bank and so on. So yeah, that would be it in today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and yeah, let me know down below what you think about this quite luxury way of styling. Do you like to dress in this way for the springtime of the year? I personally love, because I love dressing in these creamy tones. I simply find them to appear so elegant, so demure, so just perfect overall. So yeah, that's me. But you let me down below what is your opinion about this way of styling. And yeah, that would be it once again in today's video. Thanks all for watching, and I see you all in the next one. Bye.